Right now, somewhere in your engine, a small valve is slowly strangling your car's performance. And the dealership knows it. They've known it for years. Every time your check engine light blinks on, every time your fuel economy drops without explanation. Every time your car hesitates at the lights and you sit there wondering what's wrong, the answer has been sitting on a shelf at your local auto parts store for less than $2. $2. That's all it takes. And yet, drivers across the United Kingdom and the United States are collectively handing over hundreds of millions of dollars every single year to have this exact problem professionally diagnosed and expertly repaired. The repair bills range from $300 to over $1,500. The actual fix takes 20 minutes and costs the same as a cup of coffee. The industry responsible for this quiet theft has a name. It's the automotive dealership network, supported by the extended warranty industry, the emissions repair sector, and the original equipment manufacturers, who designed a system that benefits enormously from your ignorance. Since the widespread adoption of the exhaust gas recirculation valve, the EGR valve, in the 1970s, the carbon buildup problem has been documented, studied, and quietly filed away. Not solved, filed away. Because a problem that generates repeat service revenue is not a problem the industry wants solved. Independent mechanics estimate that EGR-related faults account for somewhere between 15 and 20% of all check engine light diagnoses in modern petrol and diesel vehicles. That's not a design oversight, that's a revenue stream. Drivers are being robbed, and not at gunpoint, but in fluorescent lit service bays with clipboards and labor hour charges. And the most infuriating part? The people performing these expensive repairs are often spraying something remarkably similar to that $2 solution themselves, and billing you $400 for the privilege, but that changes today. By the time this documentary reaches its final frame, you will understand exactly what an EGR valve is, why it clogs, and precisely how to clean it permanently, using a method so simple and so effective that several major automotive forums have had threads about it removed without explanation. You'll know what to buy, where to buy it, and how to use it correctly. You'll understand the one critical mistake that turns a 20-minute fix into a 3-hour engine disaster, and you'll know how to avoid it entirely. And before the end, I'll show you something about this solution that even the people who use it regularly don't fully appreciate, a secondary benefit that extends far beyond the EGR valve itself. Stay with me. The story of the EGR valve begins in the early 1970s, not as an engineering advancement, but as a regulatory response. The United States Clean Air Act of 1970 forced automotive manufacturers to reduce nitrogen oxide emissions, NOx gases produced when combustion temperatures run too high. The solution the industry landed on was elegant in its simplicity. Route a portion of exhaust gas back into the intake manifold, diluting the incoming air-fuel mixture and lowering combustion temperatures. Nitrogen oxide emissions dropped. Regulators were satisfied. The manufacturers moved on. What the engineers knew, and what internal documents from at least 2 major manufacturers would later suggest, was that this system had a predictable and unavoidable flaw. Exhaust gas is not clean. It carries with it unburned hydrocarbons, soot particles, and oily residue. Every time that exhaust gas passes through the EGR valve and into the intake manifold, it deposits a thin layer of carbon on every surface it touches. Over tens of thousands of miles, those thin layers become thick crusts. The EGR valve, designed to open and close with precision when it begins to stick. It gets lodged open or lodged partially open, or it stops responding to the engine's electronic commands entirely. By the mid-1980s, this was not a theory. It was a documented mechanical reality. Technical service bulletins, internal communications between manufacturers and their dealer networks referenced EGR carbon fouling as a known issue with known remedies. Those remedies, however, were labor-intensive procedures that generated significant service revenue. The cheap chemical cleaning option existed. Carburetor cleaner and throttle body cleaner had been commercially available since the 1960s. The chemistry was understood, the effectiveness was known. But chemically cleaning an EGR valve in 15 minutes and charging for 30 minutes of labor is a very different business proposition than removing it, bench cleaning it, or replacing it entirely at parts and labor rates that can reach 4 figures in a modern diesel vehicle. The industry made its choice. What they didn't want you to realize is that the cleaning solution was always within arm's reach. It just wasn't profitable to tell you that. What I'm about to show you is the part the industry spent decades making sure you'd never find out. Because once you see how simple this is, once you understand what is actually happening inside that valve, you will never look at a dealership service estimate the same way again. The solution is EGR valve cleaner spray, sometimes labeled as EGR and intake cleaner, sometimes as induction system cleaner, and it costs between $1.50 and $3 at any auto parts retailer. Brands like Holtz, Wins, Liquimoli, and CRC all produce versions of this product. The active chemistry is a blend of strong solvent compounds. typically including acetone derivatives, aliphatic hydrocarbons, and surfactant agents that are specifically formulated to dissolve polymerized carbon deposits. Carbon, once it bakes onto metal surfaces at engine temperatures, forms a hard crystalline matrix. Standard soap and water cannot touch it. Even many industrial degreasers will not penetrate it effectively. But these solvent blends are engineered at a molecular level to break the bonds within that carbon matrix, converting hard crust into loose particulate that can be wiped away or flushed out with the engine's own airflow. Think of it this way. If hardened engine carbon is like concrete that is set on a pipe, most cleaners are like throwing water at it. EGR cleaner is like a chemical jackhammer. It gets into the molecular structure and breaks it apart from the inside. And this is where it gets interesting, because the same chemistry that cleans the valve also conditions the metal surfaces it contacts, leaving them slightly more resistant to immediate refouling. This is not a temporary fix that wears off in 3 months. Done correctly, this cleaning lasts. Now let me walk you through exactly how it's done. If this kind of suppressed knowledge is what you're here for, real solutions that the industry would prefer you never found, then consider joining the people who've already found this channel. Every week, another expensive professional fix gets dismantled down to its cheap, effective alternative. Step 1, confirm the EGR valve is actually your problem. Before you touch anything, pull the fault codes from your vehicle's OBD2 port using a code reader. These cost between $15 and $30 and are reusable forever. EGR-related faults typically appear as PWS 4400, PWS 401, PRIS 4402, PWS 403, or PWS 404 codes. Some vehicles will also show PWS 405 or PWS 406. If you're seeing these codes, or if your car is exhibiting rough, idle, poor fuel economy, hesitation under load, or a check engine light without other obvious causes, the EGR valve is your prime suspect. Step 2, locate the EGR valve. On most petrol engines, the EGR valve is found on or near the intake manifold, connected to a metal or flexible tube that routes back toward the exhaust manifold. On diesel engines, it is typically more prominently positioned near the top of the engine. Consult your vehicle's service manual or a vehicle-specific form before proceeding. On some modern engines, particularly turbodiesel units, access requires removing ancillary components. Know what you're getting into before you start. Step 3. With the engine cold, this is critical. Do not attempt this on a warm or hot engine. Disconnect the vacuum hose or electrical connector from the EGR valve. Do not remove the valve from the engine for this initial cleaning. This is an in-situ treatment. Spray the EGR cleaner directly into the valve opening in short 2-second bursts. Allow each application to soak for 60 to 90 seconds. You will see dark brown or black liquid begin to weep out of the valve. That is dissolved carbon. This is exactly what you want. Repeat this process 4 to 6 times. Step 4. Reconnect the hose or connector. Start the engine and allow it to idle. The remaining cleaner and loosened carbon will be drawn through the system. Expect some white or gray smoke from the exhaust for the first 2 to 3 minutes. This is normal and will clear. Do not rev the engine aggressively during this phase. Step 5. And this is the mistake most people make. Do not clear your fault codes immediately after cleaning. Allow the vehicle to complete 2 full drive cycles before clearing codes, ideally including a period of sustained highway driving. The engine's electronic control unit needs to monitor the valve through its full operating range before it will confirm the fault has resolved. People who clear codes immediately and then report the light coming back on within days are almost always skipping this step. Most people stop here. Don't. Give the system time to self-verify. Before I wrap up, there's one more thing about this solution that almost nobody talks about. EGR cleaner does not stop working at the EGR valve. When you spray it into the valve and run the engine, those solvent compounds travel through the intake manifold. The same intake manifold that has been collecting the same carbon deposits for the same number of miles as the EGR valve itself. Intake manifold carbon buildup is a separate, expensive repair on its own, particularly on direct injection engines, where the injectors spray fuel directly into the cylinder rather than washing the intake valves clean. An intake manifold cleaning on a modern turbodiesel can cost $600 to $900 at a dealership. This $2 spray is treating both problems simultaneously. Every time you use it on the EGR valve, you are also performing a partial intake manifold cleaning that most drivers never know they need until a much larger bill arrives. Now consider what this actually means in real-world terms. A driver with a clogged EGR valve who takes their car to a main dealer will almost certainly be quoted for EGR valve replacement, not cleaning, replacement. A new OEM EGR valve for a common diesel engine runs between $180 and $400 for the part alone. Labor at main dealer rates, typically $120 to $180 per hour, adds another $200 to $400 depending on accessibility. Total bill, $400 to $800, sometimes more. The same driver, armed with a $2 can of EGR cleaner and the information in this documentary, spends $2 in 20 minutes. But the comparison goes deeper than money. A replaced EGR valve on a car with a carbon-fouled intake manifold will begin fouling again within 20,000 to 40,000 miles because the root conditions that caused the original problem, carbon-rich exhaust gas recirculating through dirty passages, have not been addressed. The valve is new. The system is still dirty. The problem will return. Dealers know this. It is why EGR-related repairs appear repeatedly in the service histories of vehicles whose owners rely exclusively on main dealers for maintenance. The chemical cleaning method, by contrast, cleans the entire pathway, valve, passages, and partial manifold, in a single treatment. When maintained every 20,000 to 30,000 miles as a preventative measure, carbon never accumulates to the point of causing a fault. The check engine light stays off. Fuel economy stays stable. The hesitation under load disappears and stays gone. Before this method, $400 to $1,500 per repair, recurring every few years. After this method, $2 to $6 per year in preventative maintenance. There is one more layer to this story, and it is important. What you've learned today about the EGR valve is only one chapter in a much larger narrative about how modern engine carbon buildup is quietly destroying millions of vehicles and generating billions in repair revenue for an industry that has known the solution for decades. The EGR valve is connected to a system that extends deep into your engine, and what happens when that broader system fails is significantly more expensive than anything discussed here. There are vehicles, specific makes and engine families, where ignored EGR carbon buildup eventually reaches a component that cannot be cleaned, cannot be sprayed, and cannot be fixed for $2. The damage is permanent. The repair costs are devastating. That is the next part of this story. And what makes it remarkable is not the scale of the damage. It's how easily it could have been prevented by the same industry that will charge you to fix it. The question you should be asking right now is not whether your EGR valve is dirty. The question is, what else in your engine has been quietly accumulating the same carbon deposits, and what happens when that component finally gives out?